Hello, I'm Novelette, and welcome to Morgen Talk. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Richard Montgomery, who is presently serving as the mayor of Manhattan Beach and is currently running for re-election for City Council. Hello, Richard. Thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Novelette, good to see you again.
Excellent. Now, tell me, how is Manhattan Beach managing these days? How is it protecting its residents and citizens during the pandemic?
No, I think we're more fortunate than most cities. We haven't had the cutbacks cities have had regarding policemen, firemen, city staff, things like that. So overall, from the city point of view, staffing-wise, we're as strong as ever. We did block or freeze positions in our budget. We didn't have to use our reserves, thank God, to put a hole in our budget. We were $5.4 million in the hole before our budget was set. We went through all that and did it without laying people off and cut back. So that's the good news about it.
Right.
We're not going to see the same level of, I would call it, maintenance that we saw in the past. Maybe we don't cut our parks every 2 weeks like we do normally or every week. Now, once every month. Little things that we do, trimming the trees, things that don't need to be cut back, we'll push it off until next year. So projects we need to do that aren't immediate, that aren't concerning, we hold those off. Itself as a whole is still strong. You saw what they call it parklets, the dining decks you've seen downtown, otherwise North End, where it's safe to put them out in the street. We blocked off all those parking meters and did not charge the businesses, whether it's retail or restaurants, to advertise and put space out there and hopefully survive until the governor decides to open up restaurants inside again. Same with retail stores. We do what we can to help our local businesses out. And remember, when you shop somewhere, 1% of your sales tax stays in Manhattan Beach. So the motto is shop in B. We want those local taxes to stay in Manhattan Beach. And we all shop on Amazon. I get all that. People say, do you make money with Amazon shopping? I go, LA County puts all of our Amazon shopping taxes in a big pool. Then we share it based on population. We're 35,000 people. So you imagine our share of that pool is small, right? But other than that, and people are, I think, optimistic that we can weather this. And today we just had news from the governor's office. I talk to his office every other week that they're going to open up some restrictions now. So supposedly, in theory, we haven't seen the order yet. LA County will put a health order out, if not today, over the weekend, that says we're going to open up hair salons or gyms or beauty shops. So the women out there will be very happy. And even our mall can open up at some limited capacity. But that's what you want. You want to see the South Bay by the rules that have worn our face coverings and dropped our numbers down below LA County's, I say very low numbers. That's our reward for doing the right thing here. So I haven't seen the health order yet. It's not out officially, but on the call today with Dr. Ferrer, she said that we're going to open up, at the governor's direction, gyms, beauty salons, health salons, and our mall can reopen in some capacity. I'm not sure what that means yet. We haven't seen it. Hopefully the same rules we had before that shut down the second time. The mall is 50% of capacity. The gyms and barbershops and the nail salons open up normal with their procedures in place they had before. So we're seeing positive signs, but we haven't seen where we were before yet 6 months ago. We're still a ways to go, and we're on the right path. That's what I'd say. We're luckier than most cities really felt it. We've been somewhat lucky in that respect that we have not seen the shutdown other cities have, and that a lot of it goes to our residents and visitors that have kept everyone here going, including the real estate section. I get calls almost every day. People that are moving to California, moving to Manhattan Beach, want to move here, asking about, are we open, are we operating, what's going on? So I tell them, yes, we'd love to see any people here. Come here, come eat here, come live here. We like all that, but it hasn't stopped. We think, I say every day, but I get messages from City Hall sent to me because City Hall isn't open yet for visitors, but it doesn't stop. So it's a good thing for us to know that on a national basis that we are still out there as a place to come live, work, and play. And the fact that we've done so well, AAA ready with our finances, we haven't spent our reserves yet. We can weather the storm because that storm behind this virus going down to low levels, it will never, ever go away completely. But when it gets down to the lowest level and we're back to open full speed again, remember, we're not going to in the air and celebrate yet. It's all over because the recession is going to follow right behind it. So we have a ways to go, but we are better positioned than we were in the recession 2012. I'm sorry, 2008 and 9 when I was mayor the last time. We are much stronger financially today than we were then.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Now, I know that low-income senior housing is one of the issues that you're tackling, especially during your re-election. What do you see that, how would that look like? And how do you plan to make this a reality? I understand that's a big demand presently in the city, in Manhattan Beach.
Surely, it's not just low-income housing. That's part of it. I think that we have very little land here, as you know, in the city to build on. We own the biggest parcel left. Polywog Park, people believe, is actually the city land. It's not. It's flood control land that we cannot build on. It's owned by the school district. We rent it from them, but we're not going to build there. We own the land behind the Manhattan Village Mall. And some say it's 6.5 acres. Some say it's 8 acres. Right behind the slope of the Village Mall, next to the soccer field and the senior care center. We are looking at proposals soon from people that approached me 10 years ago or 12 years ago that said, hey, look, would you be considered, or would you consider us building senior housing here? And I go, senior housing is one aspect. Yes, we need more senior housing here, whether it's assisted living, independent care living. At that time, I wanted 10% low income senior housing, affordable income, based on California and county numbers. But nowadays, I push that number to 20%. If we're going to give you the land, that's our investment, is our land to put in there, that we have to own. We have to keep it in our hands forever, the land. We give you that land to start with, build us 200 plus units, or I like more than 200 units, but let's say 200 units. Of that, now I want 20% of that to be low income or affordable housing. And those residents have to have lived in Manhattan Beach for 5 years prior to the application. Just can't move in somewhere and go, hey, I just live here and I want to sign up for housing. It's not fair for the residents that have been here a long time. So I imagine we build 200 units, we're going to have a lottery system like some cities have done that said the first 400 people that sign up, we're going to put you in a lottery. And 200 of you are going to get the first crack at it. Out of that, a certain number will get 20% of the low income / affordable housing section of it. It's a perfect spot for it. You've got facilities right there. You've got the mall right behind you. You've got dial ride that goes around the city for free, take you around to your medical appointments, to the hospitals, whatever you need. And it doesn't impact residential users right next door to you. There's no homes next door. So I'm pushing for that in 2021 to become a reality. And hopefully my council colleagues will agree that finally, after talking about it, for 8 years, we actually move it forward and actually talk about it. Because as you know, our seniors here have no place to go. You either go to Torrance or you go to West LA for senior housing, or whether it's independent care and or assisted living. The senior villas that are owned privately behind the mall are privately owned. There's a 1.5 year waiting list for those units. It just tells you what demand is like.
Right.
So hopefully we get the next step done, and I have a feeling you will be involved in the process when it moves forward.
Let's hope so. All right. And now, what is it? What is utility district, and how does that affect property owners in Manhattan Beach?
I'm sorry, what history?
Utility district.
District?
Yes. Utility, yeah. What is utility district?
So you're called underground. So they call it UUG. It's an underground utility district. So let's say you live in the hill section, for instance. You and your neighbors get together and say, you know what, these poles and wires are blocking my view of the ocean. I want to remove them. Your neighbors get together and put up money to pay for a draft design plan from Edison, run by the city, that says we want to remove all these poles from 1st Street to 8th Street between John and Dianthus, for instance. So let's say it's 174 homes in that grid. Edison says, oh, Novelette, great idea, but you're tied to this grid. Therefore, you got to expand your number to 235 homes. So now you're going to have to go to 235 homes. You have to go get at least a 75% in favor rating. You send them a note, studies are done, which you've all paid, your neighbors have put it together and paid for the study. You go out there and say, hey, would you support this? Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Finally, send an orange card to each property owner, whether they live in here or they live somewhere else. It says, when you support underground, if it costs your parcel X amount, and the value is based not on the improvements, It's based on the land square footage that you have on that street.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get past that stage and your voters vote for it, your residents only the owners of the district can vote for that district. Not me, I don't live there. But if I live in the district, I'm the one that can vote. And if I have 2 lots, I get 2 votes.
Uh-huh.
And the assessed value is 5 times more than the guy next to me, I get 5 votes. So it's based on those 2 valuations, the valuation they have and lot size. They don't look at views as a difference. So let's say it passes, your neighbors all vote for it. But then what they do is the city takes out a bid and says, okay, in the old days, we'll let Edison do it, and they charge you a user fee, or I just call it a management fee. We took away the management fee and said, you know what? We, the city, can run it. We have 7 engineers running ourselves, so the cost dropped. So we've done that in the hill section, which we're starting now. For District 4's, Dianthus, let's see, John, Poinsettia, they're all in that district starting now. You'll see signs up there, the flashing signs that say utilities are starting now. And while this is going on, 378 properties in El Porto are doing the same thing, District 12 and 14. Those were 12 and 13, I'm sorry. They're already starting. So it's lucky for us. If there's one good thing about the pandemic, and there's probably only good thing about it, is that construction crews are not as busy as normally would be doing projects. So we had the benefit of crews able to work now and get things done faster than they would have normally. The downside, people are at home, so they're hearing all the noise, the construction, and the everything else. But you know what? No one's complained about it because they wanted this to happen. And to 2012 on, they waited 8 years for this to happen. So some will be unhappy about the construction, but no one will be unhappy about having the poles, transformers, and wires down. And the ones that voted against it, that didn't, they lost because the majority of both were in the 70 percentile range. It's crazy. Right. So the residents over their property owners wanted the wires and the transformers down, and they got what they wanted. Start. And the good thing for the city is we'll have less calls about wires being down, less calls about transformers blowing. Edison, in my mind, gets a win because the wires been underground, not replacing transformers by the ocean that always, rust out after a few years. So they're probably happy too. In some way, they're probably happy. But residents actually won the right to pay their money and take it down. The city's not paying for it. The residents are. But the only thing the city's doing is overseeing the management rate, and we don't add a management fee on top of it.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for sharing that. So now, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we go?
I would say to be patient with the city while we're going through everything now. We're working on a 1/3 capacity of our staff. A lot of people are home. They're not working in City Hall. We have planning staff doing things as much as they can from their homes, especially now that schools aren't open, their kids are with them. So we're all flexing during this time until we get back to normal. So be patient with us on construction, on plan review, on plan check, inspections. If you have a problem, email me. If it's outrageous and you think it's too long, then email me and we'll follow up with it. Because we do get a list every week of every project in the city, where it is in plan check, who's assigned to it, what's going on, and also construction the same way. So if you feel that your project, your builder is slow for whatever reason, just email me, rmontgomery@citymb.info, I-N-F-O, and I'll follow up for you. Besides that, we're going to get through this. Hopefully, in my mind, the way that we're going, I'm hoping for Christmas time, actually. I'm the optimist. I know people aren't saying you can't do that yet. It's not going to be Christmas time. I'm hoping we have fireworks to celebrate the whole thing, that we get to do everything we want to by the year end. And our mall will be happy to have shoppers at Christmas time. The mall's going to be beautiful. They spent $300 million making that mall now. They can't wait to actually open the doors. And I can't wait to open the doors. I want our sales tax to go back to normal. I want to open services again. But until that happens, fingers crossed, year end. I know the governor's office won't tell you that. They'll never say anything more than 2 weeks in advance. But just be flexible, patient with us. If you have an issue, email us and we'll get back to you and tell you what's going on.
Excellent. Thank you so much for talking with us today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Take care. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.